Welcome back, race fans. This is the Crank Brothers Race Review series where myself and some selected co-hosts will break down each and every World Cup DH race this season. Crank Brothers is synonymous with the DH racing circuit, last year celebrating an incredible 14 years in a row of Elite World Champ wins with that mallet DH pedal. Now, they also won the 2024 World Cup overall title on the pedals. And it's not just pedals. Crank Brothers has been adding to their product offering over the last few years. And now a whole host of race winners and podium contenders are in their shoes. Riders like Ronan Dunn, Andy Kolb, Bernard Kerr, Ocean O'Callaghan, Lucas Shaw, Cammy Belange, Troy Brosnan, and Benoit Coulange, plus many more. And in other exciting news, Commensal Makov will be running the Crank Brothers wheels this season. Now, I'm personally blown away by the shoes and pedal combo. I am a Boa Mallet shoe guy myself. It is easy the best shoe I have ridden. Right, we're back. We're on site. Crank Brothers Race Review. Wyn Masters, always stoked to have you in the house. He's gone and done it. We don't have to jump straight into that, but I mean, Leger, the reason I'm here is just the atmosphere, and it delivered. I mean, every year you think it can't get crazier. I feel like that was potentially the craziest I've seen.
Yeah, definitely. This place is what downhill racing really should be, and every year it seems to get better almost. And even from the race, from the atmosphere, all round, it's just an unreal race. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the passion behind even the track builders. They cut some new track, left it really fresh. Ironically, maybe it would have been easier for the riders if it was the old bed-in track, because those sections you could see on TV were maybe a bit more consistent. But I think weather's obviously a subject line, and then that led to, geez, I mean, I've never seen so many top riders have inconsistent practice. Like, everyone was crashing. Everyone was saying, oh, this is impossible. But come race day, I mean, a lot to most of them stayed on and made it looks way easier than what the ground lets you ride. Like, I can't believe some of the riding I saw.
Yeah, just the level is insane right now. So everyone just keeps getting better and better. And those conditions were probably like, I don't know, akin to some of the old school World Cup races that myself and you competed in back in the day on probably 26 or 27.5 wheels. Really gnarly mud, just like a battle, just even stay on. You just got to keep going. And we haven't seen stuff like that for a long time. And I think some riders struggled a bit with that, and then others like embraced it. And with conditions like that, you really have to embrace it. But everyone was pretty much staying on the bike. There's not many crashes in that final, which shows how good everyone is.
Yeah, I mean, and some of the crashes were almost like unlucky, and the course probably just ruts getting deeper and deeper, and there was nowhere else to go. Like, you had to commit, and if you just got it slightly wrong or left your braking just too late, and then that rut was even deeper. But you're right, courses have changed a bit, and it's gone from sort of execution, and then this one we've rolled back the clock to, I need to get down. Like, I need to really stay on my bike. Yes, I need to attack. Obviously, someone that attacked and stayed on and got it clean will win, of course. There's no doubt. But, you know, it's not often, I think, these days that these riders are sitting in the start gate, maybe worrying about a certain section. Like, am I going to clean this section? But we did back in the day. I remember it was quite stressful. You know, at one or two sections, you're like, I've got my line, but it's a gamble to get through.
Yeah, there was definitely a few sections that were a gamble. And I saw some riders crashing in their last training runs as well. So doesn't really build the confidence going into your final race run. But for me, normally that would be a good thing. You'd get the crash out of the way and hope that you're not going to crash again. But yeah, there was just like a lot of sections where it would have been a bit of a gamble and you had to roll the dice. And you had to be really precise, but it's so hard to do that when there's routes trying to direct you every other way. So it was just a real European World Cup, I think.
Yeah, it was a battle. I mean, it was honestly chaotic in a battle. Chaotic fans, chaotic track, chaotic weather. I mean, you couldn't predict what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it was just ever changing, you know, from course walk to training to then the sun comes out to then it rains again overnight. Then you're looking at the forecast going, okay, but it's, you know, the sun's coming out later, but how much is the track going to dry? But you mentioned that crash. I was in the last steeps. Martin Maes had a hugie, but got away with it. You've got the clip.
Yeah.
Maybe we can sneak the clip in here. But yeah, he seemed unfazed by it, clearly, like with his result. Like, Party Marty, like that's a guy that just embraced the conditions, threw flat pedals on.
Yeah.
Which I almost don't take him to be the guy to throw the flat pedals on, weirdly. But then he said, no, he's at home on his e-bike with flat pedals all the time.
Yeah.
That's where I think he shines, is he's such an all-round bike rider. I've always known that.
Yeah.
And these are the conditions that reward someone with just bike handling skills. It's not just precision. It's not like, have I got my bike set up good and all those marginal gains,
Yeah, and he's definitely one of those riders. I think a lot of people don't realise, but they see it now with that ride yesterday. But he's always been, that's one of the things in enduro, you just have to adapt. And you get really good at adapting to like not being on your perfect line and not being perfect and just making it work and keep the rhythm rather than like focusing on being perfectly on your line and being the perfect run. Just keeping that same rhythm and going fast the whole time, and he's really good at that. And I think he rode flat pedals when he started enduro. He was still on flats, so I think he might have even podiumed an enduro on flats before as well. So he's done quite a lot with flat pedals, and then he also used to do four cross back in the day. So he's got like the full well-rounded skill set. His dad has a mountain bike school, and actually all the kids from the mountain bike school were here watching as well. So there's a lot of Belgian flags in the crowd. It was like pretty epic to see for him, and his whole family was here. And then he rolls down on flats. He did like a crazy little tiny line at the bottom. I don't know if you picked that up, but just before the last jumps, he went across the grass more than in the rut, and everyone else was going in the rut. He went across the grass and then hit the end of the rut, and he pulled back quite a bit of time in that last sector. So unreal. After that big crash, there was a huge crash right in front of me. He slid down in the mud, and then he ran up to like see what happened, like because I was like, "Oh, you slid before you try to pull this hole," and it was pretty gnarly to see a crash like that right before the race. I wasn't sure if he'd be alright because he hit the ground pretty hard, but it's lucky it's just mud, so you just slide down. And then he said good to get that out of the way before the race, and then go up for the race. So he's like, I went to the pit after. He's like, that was better than the last practice run, wasn't it?
No, we were catching up with him throughout the week, and so I saw that crash. I mean, if that was in the dry, he was probably hurt because he landed like on the back of his shoulder, back slid. But also with how slippery it was and short practice, he couldn't get to retry that section.
No.
So it's all in the head to put that behind you, ask you for a little bit of analysis. Tani, I think, crashed a little bit further down, like quite shitty and awkward crash as well. And sometimes that's hard to put out of your mind, that those crashes could happen at any time, in the race. So yeah, it was really cool. He said he could kind of feel it coming. He's had all the fan base here, the family, friends. He said he did a really good job of like blocking out that expectation and pressure and just using it as energy, and he like felt it coming, and he said he wanted to be the first guy to win on flats since Sam Hill Maribel in 2014, and G, funny enough, had flats on in Cairns that year as well. And that seems to be the last time someone's won on flats. So it was cool, like it was in the back of his mind, and to be able to perform under pressure, really amazing. Like you said, he is an all-round bike handler. I think he's one of the greatest talents, like to be able to do these multi-disciplines. I just remember, do you remember at Ciota when he just did his first slalom? Yeah. For me, it was his first slalom. You obviously say he raced four cross maybe back at home, but I was like, he just won the slalom.
Yeah, straight off the
nowhere.
Bat.
That's one of my stories I love telling about him.
Yeah, he's probably like 16 maybe.
Yeah, and that's when I knew he's an all-round bike handler, and that's a good point. The enduro experience would have paid off where you don't get rattled by little mistakes or that you're not on a perfect run, because downhill is about perfection, maybe more than ever now.
Yeah, way more than ever than it ever has been, because before it was always like you had to improvise sometimes, like, and I remember like seasons where we nearly had no dry races, like it was just so hard all the time, and often similar conditions and slower speed like this track gave us. So we didn't have that for a long time. We're normally just going flat out, turning one corner, going flat out again. And you couldn't always visually see the time that riders were losing. I was watching guys, I was like Dylan Leves, quite, amazing story that he's announced his retirement from racing at the end of the year. This is his last race in France, and he gets 9th in Q1,
kind of half no surprise because he's really a technically gifted rider. So there's obviously less weight on his shoulders. But the reason I bring it up is in finals, he looked attacking at the top. And then if you just make like a small error, it compounds. And you almost, because it's so slow, you actually can't visually always see that they've lost 3-4 seconds in a sector. Like if you just make a mistake or two in the wrong place, you lose so much time.
Yeah, it's like some of those sections are kind of quite flat as well. Like they're not that down, so you can't just get off the brakes and go fast again. You've lost your speed for quite a long time, and then you're going slower over the next routes, which then makes you slide more. And then you're just fighting the whole way. Like one little clip out, you can be done for like the whole sector. And then you're losing like 5 seconds rather than just one, you know?
Yeah, good point. Like if it's steeper, you think you could get a little bit more aggressive. And I mean, the time's lost, but you could kind of make up a little bit by just like really getting aggressive in a steep bit. Or like you say, you're going to lose less because you can just get off the brakes and you've only lost a bike length or two. But here, 2 bike lengths where the mistake is. Then like you say, momentum and commitment were key on those flatter, finicky sections. Yeah,
like they were really hard to ride, but you also had to come in really confident that you were going to ride them well. So it's like a catch-22. Like Martin done so well to turn around from a big crash and then just keep that confidence, you know?
Yeah.
And you could see the riders that were not confident. Like I saw some great riders really struggling in that final practice session. And I'm like, whoa, these guys are like not their normal selves.
Yeah, so you could spot maybe the results weren't going to come. Did any of those guys turn it around in the finals where you were like, this isn't going to go as well as he would hope?
Amaury did. Amaury didn't look as good as his usual self.
Yeah.
And then he turned it around in the final. He was leading at the third sector.
He was the one guy that I think got unstuck with kind of like potentially a rut getting a little bit deeper. And like, it feels like he did everything right coming in. Clearly maybe a fraction too much speed.
Yeah.
And then it's just a rut that's softer than it's ever been. Because you've got the junior race as well that happens after the practice of elite. And on a track like that, it is going to change a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was probably the hardest section where Amaury crashed. Is probably one of the hardest sections, at least on the first day of practice. There was a massive hole in that corner.
And coming in was tough. I could see, I've never seen so many top guys sort of, they were puzzling. Like, well, I can only go as slow as I can to try get to this line.
Yeah.
To then I have to let off the brakes because it's so steep and slippery to then hit that hookup.
Yeah, I was impressed watching the final how many rode this entry to that bit so well because there's so many crossing routes. And it's so hard to be light across them when you're like going down a steep thing trying to brake as well.
Plus tired.
Yeah, and tired, and your tyres are a bit clogged because it's quite sticky there and you're not going that fast. So that's probably where your tyres are most clogged on the track, really. That's one of the flattest parts before dropping into that last chute. And that hole probably was just in the wrong place, and I reckon maybe he couldn't see a route just before he hit the corner. So maybe the front wheel knifed a bit. He still couldn't understand what happened. He felt like he did everything perfect and was happy with how he did it. It just got him out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's what I noticed is you could do everything right and just have a huge E or like a small tip over. Like Jackson probably felt like he rode it like he wanted to ride it, and he had 2 tip overs in Q1 and the finals in the same place. You know, like a super, probably on TV looked pretty easy. But it was horrendous off camber, excuse me, with so many routes. So that's a big storyline of the week. Yeah, is Jackson being forced into Q2? Gets through. I mean, that could have been a real mess up for the overall. But as far as a bad week goes, he's still leading the overall barely. But that's pretty impressive, you know.
Well, he's still good, really. So it'll be how he takes the next races that was where it makes it count, I think. And Loic was quite happy to be like applying the pressure now. He was really happy to put the pressure on Jackson and now be super tight in the points. And I think he likes to be in that position. So he was like, yeah, I'm happy to now put some pressure on him.
Yeah, it will be tough now because technically it's so close in points, but Loic's hunting. You almost feel like you'd rather be in that position. And Loic was impressive, like for someone that likes to say he's not doing well in the wet or he struggles. He's really confident. I mean, he had a crash in Q1, it seemed. Like, he seemed dirty and he was still in third or fourth.
Yeah, I messaged him and asked him if he crashed. He didn't reply, but he was like mud all over his shoulder. I was like, what's he done?
He's done something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, maybe he's just brushed a pad or a tree, but it's, I mean, you can also have a lie down or a really quick tip over. As much as we said, you can lose a lot of time because it's, I don't know, so slow. You can have like a quick one and get going again. Yeah,
well, like Amaury had a big one and he got 9th. So
yeah,
that's very rare. Coming from these other races where we're fighting, like you overbreak one corner and you're like out of the top 5.
Yeah,
it is insane.
Amaury gets 15th, like on what looked like a really good run.
Yeah.
Well, the times were there was a lot more that differentiated riders.
Yeah,
Ronan put 2 and a bit seconds into second, but I mean the ladies' field was pretty close to top 5, but the men's field, like that's one of the bigger time gaps we've seen. And like you say, there were crashes. You could have a crashes and still get a respectable run. That's because of the course conditions, right?
Yeah, and it's cool to see that rather than just be fighting for split seconds everywhere. And we haven't seen that for such a long time. We've only had like one really wet race this year, so it was good to see a proper mud race. And not often we've actually had a mud race where it's wet the whole time. Like normally we'd get one day wet and then you've got to like adapt. Now we've had like a wet race the whole time we're here. So it's quite cool, and that's just the way the track develops as well. It like gets so much more gnarly having it from the first practice run fully wet.
And how ironic is the sun came out, but it almost got worse in bits.
Yeah.
Like people at home be like, well, of course they would want the sun to come out, but it got stickier. We call it, like it becomes like peanut butter, which the riders don't want. And I almost thought we lost the track there for a while.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the guys at the end, as much as some bits would get quicker, some would get worse.
Yeah.
So it was a full, like, how would you ever know which time of day would be best to go down? But I almost thought, are we going to have a problem with the last 10 riders where it gets too peanut buttery in places and slow?
Yeah, I was thinking the same for a minute. Until Martin came down, I was like, oh, I'm glad the race is back on, because I was like, oh, this race might just go away and then we're just going to stand here and watch everyone go slower. Then Martin came down, you're like, it's on now. So I was glad it was still doable. And it was probably one of the first wet races where the sun's out that the results haven't been like fully affected. So you've had like Troy come down super early. In previous races, when it's like those conditions, that might have been a benefit to Troy or a disadvantage. And he even said himself he doesn't know if it was an advantage or a disadvantage. It's like, yeah, it probably got slower, but it got worse some places, and then maybe the last jumps were better at the end for the guys that were more dry at the end. So it's like, it was a bit of a balance, and it was kind of good to see that it didn't really destroy the race, you know?
Yeah, it almost evened out. Like you said, you couldn't really put money on which section was slow or fast. I mean, you could probably deep dive into like the sector times maybe, but it was pretty even playing field for sure. And but Andy Kolb's run, I've seen some memes going around of like these figure skaters.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense. He was just like, it didn't even look like he was trying in places.
Yeah.
He was just very neutral on the bike, didn't unclip once, got some really good insides.
Yeah.
And then he did that line down the bottom, like, which we'll get to at Remy Teron, but like a Remy Teron line.
Yeah.
Which the way he did it and committed, I was like, not enough people are riding this line. How was there even a hookup, right? But there kind of was.
Yeah.
But the TV does not do the commitment level and skill level to dive inside down there over that ledge. There's like, that was really impressive, and it looked like it made him some time.
Yeah, I think it made some time in that sector, and he kept the speed pretty high the whole way through the berm afterwards, which was key, I think, down into that last jump. And I think, I don't know, he rides really well in the wet, and I think he's, being from Austria, he rides like a lot of those summer storms, so he probably just gets his bike out on those wet days, and you can see how much more confidence he has, you know, than some of the others. And I think he was running a full mud spike as well. He had the Conti Hydrotel, which is a really aggressive mud tyre. And that tyre probably was pretty good in some of those sections. But then he said he was hoping that he'd have wished to have run a cut tyre for the final.
Well, he thought the conditions changed enough that he would have wanted a cut.
Yeah, he wanted the cut to roll faster.
Yeah.
He said he was rolling slow at the end.
Yeah, he would have done, but he's made so much up. He was able to ride that inside line. I mean, I saw riders like also really struggling with tyre choice between Q1 and Q2, because that was quite a challenge. Like the course was definitely changing between Q1 and Q2.
Yeah, that was drying a lot.
And people were like, geez, do we go to our cuts? Is that going to be better in places? Like, it was really, I guess, cool for me, because I didn't ride. I know you rode. I don't know what it felt like. It would have been mentally draining this week.
Yeah, it was. I actually changed from a spike to a hydrotail, from a hydrotail to an agatail for that Q2 run.
And happy you did?
Yeah, very happy. Yeah, excuse my cold.
No, shame, dude. Wins too working too hard, traveling too much, and fighting off something. Well, hopefully Wyn's going to make it through the rest of this podcast. If not, it's going to be a solo one, which I'm not looking forward to.
No.
Shame, man.
No, I changed tyres from a hydrotail to an agatail just for that Q2 session, because I was like, it's drying up. I went up the top, rode down on my e-bike. I was like, looks pretty dry.
Did you go up on your e-bike between Q1 and Q2?
No, I go bring my e-bike to the top and then ride down to the road gap.
Oh, check it out, then go back.
Yeah.
And that's your warm-up.
That's my warm-up.
Yeah, lovely.
And then I was like, yep, put the agatail on. It's like, and it was a lot easier with that tyre on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what else stood out? I mean, I guess we need to...
Well, Jackson's crash, I didn't really dig into it, but...
Okay.
Speak of a past legend was up there filming, and I saw his Instagram story, Julian Camillini.
I bumped into Camillini. Yeah. He hasn't been back to a race, he says, since 2012, like a French...
He was loving it.
Superstar, yeah.
And, he was here with his family, so great to see him. And then he was up on the track during the race, and his Instagram story was Jackson's crash from the other angle. And I'm like, whoa, he got like the perfect shot. He's like, yeah, right place, right time. And it looked like he'd like hopped out of the rut and then just landed on the roots.
Mm.
But he was really kicking himself because he did it in the exact same place as Q1. And he was so upset with himself for doing that. But like, yeah, probably it'll be on him, that one, I'd say. Because,
yeah, I guess so. If he's done it twice in a row in the same spot, and you said he was kicking himself, so then he is frustrated.
He was going for his like floating down the track method, but then he landed straight on a route. And normally the floating works quite well, but you've got to be really careful where you put your front wheel. And it just went onto a route and he was gone. And then that was kind of the day done for him, because he still got a result, but not where he wanted to be. And he didn't look as confident as he would normally.
Throughout the week.
Just a little bit wild. Down that last chute, he got like bucked, nearly did a Martin. And then the next run he came through doing a knack through the berm. I'm like, whoa, he's not looking his usual self. So there were bits that he was doing amazingly well, like that double out of the sketchy rut that the Elrond boys were making look way too easy. He was doing really nice, but then there was other bits where he didn't look his usual self. So he said he's not sure, but he doesn't really like racing in the mud. So it's kind of like Loic, you need to adapt to that and make that your skill set rather than go against it. And it's hard to do, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. Like his racecraft in these types of conditions maybe has to just figure that out. He's got the racecraft in the dry and tracks he loves, the steep ones. Andorra, whatever it may be, you could say doesn't suit him, but he did damn well there. Came close. And maybe Loic's like really learning a mud racecraft, and like where he can do well, where he can't, how to adapt his riding style. And like you say, maybe that hopping style, he'd probably say himself, like it is his style, but it can be like inconsistent in some sections. If you're going to hop and like a route is more exposed, you're going to land on a route.
Yeah.
And in the dry, it doesn't matter.
No.
Like you're just generating speed, which is, like him at Val de Sol.
Yeah.
When Jackson rides Val de Sol and that hopping method, it's like insane.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's on the steeper tracks as well. So I think this is probably harder because it's flatter. He was already back by a bit at the Sector 1. and it looked like he didn't do anything wrong. So I think it's quite hard for him on the flatter ones, especially if it's so sticky. So he probably a little bit of a disadvantage there, but he plays to his strengths when the track favours it so well.
Yeah. It's same as Gracie. Like, she's back at the first split, but it's no surprise. Their size is like, it's a disadvantage.
Yeah.
When you want to carry momentum.
Yeah. And then Gracie pulled off another win, which is unreal. And she also says she doesn't like riding in the mud, so she's embraced it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it was a big mental battle from what I can hear. Like, didn't feel like she was consistent because in practice you weren't getting everything as clean as you probably hoped, and you probably just felt like it was all you. But I guess when you stand on the outside, you could say everyone looks a bit sketchy, everyone's having moments, easier said than done, but that is the fact.
A lot of these riders, they don't spend much time watching everyone else, so they just get sent the videos of people doing stuff well. And then they're like, this is how you should do it. And then you're like, well, I'm not doing it like that. And I don't know.
I'm doing it like that once in four.
Yeah, and then they feel bad, but they don't realise that video is the one best person through that section. And you're easy to think you're riding badly. Like, you feel like you're out riding badly because you're clipped out all the time. But at some point, you just have to keep going and get used to that.
That's a good point. Those all the lines coaches and the videos you get sent are like the Instagram highlights.
Yeah.
And all you have in your mind is like, I've literally messed that section up 4 times out of 5. Like, what do you mean that's how I must ride it? I'm trying. That's interesting, yeah. It would play on you, yeah. So you've got to really be careful of the input you take in and the team you have around on you to keep your confidence up. And maybe this track is that.
Yeah.
You gotta ride with a good attitude, get through the cold weather. Like that top lift you had, Leger, would have sucked in the rain.
Horrible.
You could have got pretty negative about that.
They really need to put a new gondola in to keep having this World Cup.
At the top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
because
such a long turnaround to do a practice lap.
Yeah, you mentioned top riders are not watching as much, but like they can't. There's not time to stop on the track. Like to get 2 runs on race day, I think most did.
Yeah.
It was a hustle, right?
The only rider that did more than that was Ronan Dunn.
So did he get 3 in on race day?
He did 2.5.
Oh, did he quickly go up and then he snuck in?
So he did the first one. He was the first rider on track, like he always is. And then he snuck back up, did the half gondola, pinned down the bottom bit, and he was like the fastest guy in the bottom. And then did another one to the top.
Oh, he did it that way. Yeah, I was thinking about that. They have to allow that.
Yeah.
For this style of gondola, for sure. I think they used to almost say you're not allowed to do things like that. But
yeah, they did. But then they said if you do 2 full runs, then you can do half runs as much as you want.
Okay, so they want 2 full runs before race?
Yeah, like from the first practice day.
What, once you've done 2 for the day?
Yeah, like the first training session, you had to do 2 full runs.
Yeah, like legally.
Yeah, and then you could do half ones.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. Then they've adapt. That's good that they adapt like that. They have to, right? Because they didn't extend any practice time.
For me, they need to put in a new gondola or extend the practice. Like, especially with conditions like that. Like, if you had a mechanical, you're not doing much practice.
Yeah, that's a big disadvantage, and it could be an unlucky mechanical. There's not a lot of time in the day to do it. But yeah, I guess that's a cool feedback or hope is when the gondola is so long, then you would want to extend practice.
Yeah, it's way longer than
especially on first day.
Yeah.
It's like let everyone get their reps in, get their runs in with less pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool for sure. Yeah, Gracie, I mean, another win. I looked it up. It's 3 for the season.
Yeah.
Right? She's not leading the overall, though. Like, Valley's got 4 seconds, 2/3, and a 4th or something. Like, it's crazy to see the consistency of Valley compared to, like, the wins of Gracie. And Gracie's worst result is an 8th, I think. So it's obviously the points after like the top 5 really fall away. I think that's what's hurt her. Valley was, I don't know, you chatted to her afterwards? I haven't got to see your video.
No, I didn't catch up with Valley. She wasn't there when I went past, but and then I saw her later, but she was probably not keen for an interview at that point, so I didn't interrupt her. Yeah,
I also definitely veered away from some pits and tents this week.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely a bit more stress.
There's probably a lot more stress in that pit, I'll be honest.
What, YT?
Yeah, it looks like doesn't look great from the outside. What's going on there?
What because of like the business administration stuff?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. So from what I can see, they've really downsized their setup.
Yeah, but is that because the big truck doesn't fit in here?
No, I think because the big truck's not there anymore.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got it on any authority?
No authority, but yeah, I'm just
speculating. Oh, we've got this is the Sven's conspiracy corner.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll give it. Sven said so.
We'll give it Sven said so for sure. Yeah, I mean that can make you rage a game or become more stressful. Like if stuff like that's going on in the background, like we don't know all the facts.
And then,
but that can't be fun as a rider. Like if your sponsor is in business administration.
Yeah. It's not
like
enjoyable.
There's financial issues. That's not enjoyable. But some will rise. And look, you've only got one choice, and that's ride as good as you can. Because if you need another ride, I'm not saying this is happening.
It's quite possible.
You're either going to need another ride from another team, or you got to help them out. Like it's all on you. Just do as good as you can. Solves all the scenarios.
Yeah, I'll throw it out there, but I would love to see Valley just set up her own team and be like how she wants to do it.
You reckon?
Yeah. Well, I would love to see that. I don't know if she will, but it would be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Because she has the stature that she could do that, and she has a lot of outside sponsors. Very few riders have outside sponsors, so it's great to see she is one of the riders that have that.
Yeah, she's sort of transcending biking in her country of Austria, right? Like she's
massively
a local hero.
Yeah, she's all over.
Local, like
national. Yeah.
National hero.
So she's catching up to the ski races in Austria, which is really cool. And you don't really have that from other athletes in mountain bike. They're not catching up to the mainstream athletes in their own country.
Yeah.
And maybe not in downhill anyway.
No, you need that. Like South Africa, Greg was, the greatest in the world, but he didn't catch up as much to these mainstream athletes. Like the athletes respected him a lot.
Yeah.
But he didn't get national recognition at all.
Yeah.
Like he barely won our cycling. I think the joke was he didn't win our cycling awards when he was like winning world champs.
Yeah.
Some road star would win it or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a running joke. So not all countries you can do that. But I thought her run was great. Like I thought she had an incredible quali. She rode really smart at the top. And I felt like it was those mistakes that come, like, just unfortunately can happen in the conditions. Yeah. And like split 3 to 4, I think she lost quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
But that's where a few errors compounded. Like
and you're tired as well. So
you're tired as an athlete, and then they compound, and it was like you could do everything right, slip on a route, and then lose time. And that's where she lost most of her time.
But then she probably needed her team to radio and say, hit the jumps, like Greg did to Gracie, but Gracie didn't do it. But Valley has the power to hit all those jumps. Nina did all the jumps and made time back. If Valley had done the jumps, she would have won.
Did Hastings do the jumps? Because I felt like she won that sector.
I don't think she did the jumps, no.
I did notice that Gracie didn't do the jumps, but then like really committed into the last one that you couldn't clear, and then you land on the top. But she landed further on the top and bounced.
Yeah.
And Valley was like accepted, like I can't jump this.
Yeah.
And look, you're tired as well. Like it's really small little.
It's funny, but the race came down to doing the jumps, but then like only Nina did the jumps completely.
Yeah, she was in the top 3 in that sector. Jenna won that sector.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting for sure. Yeah, it comes down to that sector, but also like so much has happened.
Yeah, I know, but
track.
you've got to do everything to there. But then if you just did the jumps, you could win the race.
Potentially, yeah.
And you would think that Valley would probably be one of the strongest riders on the pedals. And she's also one of the best jumpers.
Yeah, definitely.
So she probably will watch the replay and be like, I should have done the jump.
Because she did the first jump, then went around the second one. Where
I think so, yeah.
Where Gracie went round all of them. Fine.
Yeah.
Like once you go around the first one, you're not doing the next one. But it's like it looked like she greased the first one.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't jumped the second one to know how big and how much speed you need,
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But you had to do the first one perfect. And sometimes you didn't. If you don't get the corner up on the grass nice, the like fast rut, then your average speed, your average speed can be quite a bit less.
Definitely, that sets you up like from Reese's freaking creek gap.
Yeah, the speed's
down to
the whole
finish.
way. Yeah,
Dude, that rut, like especially in the wet, I was saying to people, like to do well, you've got to risk a huge crash there.
Yeah, and
like riders weren't crashing there,
no,
but they were getting squirrely.
They're hitting pedals. I hit my pedals in Q2. Both pedals bottomed out in the rut.
Yeah, so you could have a hugie there, and if you don't commit, you're literally losing 2 seconds.
Yeah,
in that straight.
And then the person I saw that risked it the most was Max Elring. He comes through and he went inside there.
Oh, and just caught. Did he go inside the whole way or caught the end of it?
He caught just at the end, but hardly even touched it. Ran wide and then hit the jump. So he didn't even slow down.
It didn't look like he slowed down anywhere on the track, that Wyn. How's that run?
Insane. That guy...
Like, you have to talk about the juniors. When the guys like Ace's run looked good, great. Till... I don't think Till made it.
Till crashed.
Oh, did he crash?
He came back from 11th that split one to be 4th.
Because like I thought Till would, him and Max, you would argue like have equal talent, right?
Yeah.
So you want to compare him to his brother in these conditions. Man, it would have been cool to see Max ride like in the same conditions as Elite. See the times.
He's excited for it.
Is he?
Yeah.
For next year?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a whole different ball game when you're at the top, in Elite. That's different kind of pressure.
100%. But I think the way he's riding, I've not seen anyone ride in conditions like that for a long time.
Yeah, that was impressive.
It was so controlled and it made it look easy. He didn't look like he was pushing. He did the same time as Ronan. He didn't look like he was pushing. Ronan was attacking everything.
Yeah.
And Ronan, to rewind to him, was insane all week. Like, in the last training runs was the fastest. He was pushing the whole week. And his Q1 GoPro, I don't know if you saw that. It's on the GoPro bike YouTube. It's the most scary run I've watched for a long time.
Scarier than Poland when he freaking won there. That one scared me quite a lot.
This one is like half of the time he's out of the rut and he's swearing in the helmet. He's like, and he's like, gets angry, pedals more.
But he's just got this aggression to keep going forward.
Yeah, he's like aggressive and making noises every time he makes a mistake. But then it just like the mistakes compound a bit, but he keeps pushing harder. And he nearly crashed right at the bottom on that Q1 run. He like blows out the rut, clips out, cases the Reese's gap, and like it was gnarly. Like he lost a lot of time, so he would have known after that Q1 that he had a lot of time up his sleeve because it was really messy run, and it was like, but it was so on the limit. Like I was like, I'm not sure he can pull his final off. I was worried for his safety. I
was also worried. I said this can go really good, or like he could have a crash with because he's going to come out of the gate as hard as he can, fine, and like you've just said. It's proof in his Q1 like he's going to be aggressive.
Yeah.
It's not going to be this like precise clean run. It's going to be Ronan Dunn throwing everything at it. And if you stay upright, he's going to win the race. Which he did. Like that's impressive. Like the heart he has to be like, I've won a race, but like I want to win another one and to like call it out and work as hard as he's done. And then to do that, like that's really impressive. Like I think winning one race is one thing, but to win two is maybe the floodgates can open more. Now you really believe you can be there. Or does it add more pressure? You're going to go to every race thinking you need to win the thing.
Well, I think, there's a lot of riders that get stuck on one win and they never win again. I said, you've broken that now, so that's good. And then yesterday he said he doesn't want to drink. He's focused on next week. He didn't go and do 80 runs in Champery for nothing. So
is it not more?
Yeah, it was something like that.
It's probably more.
Yeah. He said, I didn't do 80 runs for nothing, so I'm focused on next week.
No, I think the party in Leger would have been mostly fans. Like the downhillers, they've got to race.
Changed.
It's a quick but I mean it's a quick turnaround. I think even in our day, like there were a few guys having maybe like a little like relaxing toot in the pits. But I think once dinner came and you just lock that condo door and try not look at your phone and see if anyone, you don't want to have any FOMO and sneak out. Like, it's not worth it, right?
Nothing happens anyway, I'll be honest.
Yeah, like, let loose in Champery. Even the youngsters, I think, are more professional than we were when we were young. We probably would have gone and had a look, Wyn, and then got roped in.
You definitely would.
You go have like a quick look.
Yeah, you'd be like, I'll just have one.
Yeah, and the next thing it's 1 a.m. 2
a.m. Yeah, and you're like...
Well, I mean, there is a rest day today. Like, we're recording this on Sunday, and I don't know when You know, when does practice, or now you know, when does practice start at Shumpert? Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
They literally changed it 5 days ago.
So it has been changed?
It changed. So the track walk was going to be on Thursday.
Okay.
Practice start on Friday. Now the track walk's on Wednesday and practice start Thursday.
Okay.
And I booked my flights around that, so yeah.
So you need a reimbursement from UCI or someone?
They'll
hopefully
be sending me a reimbursement.
You'll be sending an
Very
invoice.
generous people there.
I think that that email might get unread.
Potentially.
Marine, we're jumping around, which is great. Marine Cabarrou, she had a fractured vertebra again. Like, that's a horrible injury.
Yeah.
And she's bounced back here. It's insane.
Yeah. I think she had to wear like one of those, I don't know what they're called.
The back brace?
Yeah, like a back brace cast thing.
Yeah, for recovery.
Yeah.
I saw on Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, she had to wear that for a while. She rode for 1 week. She's only been riding 1 week. And then she's back on the World Cup podium, straight back in.
That's channeling your inner Fabian Burrell for sure, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's done the same.
If you want anyone in your corner, I spoke to him on the pod. Yeah, he, similar to Umri, like they used a lot of visualization and just threw everything at this recovery. So if you want someone in your corner to say you can do something like that, it's Fabian Burrell for sure.
Yeah, and it was amazing to see from Marine to turn that around from like unfortunate injury to then being straight back on the podium. It's got to be a good feeling. And then you believe you can do it still rather than doubting yourself coming back without delivering, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, Camille Blanche, like, no surprise. She's
extreme weather specialist.
Extreme weather specialist.
Yeah.
She's like extremely like talented bike handling skills, you know? So, I mean, that's no surprise in fourth. Gloria Scarzi, did you speak to her at all? Like, that was
a little bit,
incredible quali, and then backing it up is great, you know, because the moment could have got to her.
Yeah.
But that was cool.
Yeah, she was pretty happy with how the week went as a whole, and she's super powerful as well. So she's like, I think she just keeps pushing. Also, and like some riders, they are not perfect, so then they get upset, you know. And then you have to have this other mindset where you just keep on pushing. And she's probably the most powerful sprinter out of all the girls, I would say.
Well, yeah, I mean, it does pay off. Like you mentioned, the bikes get heavier.
Yeah.
They're at...
Yeah, 25 kilos I think they were. Bernie had...
Was that much? Someone said it 14 pounds or something.
Yeah, Bernie had his on the scale. They did it in training.
So the bike went to 25 total?
Yeah.
Yeah, from what?
From 17.
17. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's 14, 15, 16 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
I said to the Santa Cruz guys, okay, so you're taking the lead off the bike now? Because it might all just become
probably
that.
have to,
They probably do, because that's probably worth taking it off.
Yeah.
Did you speak to Tani? She had some great splits here. I didn't quite see if there was something between split 3 and split 4, but that was that really flat section that was very challenging. Like one of the on paper easy bits.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of roots, and there was that like tiny little, I wouldn't call it a creek, but a stream gap.
Yeah.
Like Andy Kolb did that like really impressively, looked like nothing, and then you saw some riders, you're like, this looks like a different track, how difficult it was.
Yeah, it's like a 3-foot jump, but it was one of the hardest jumps in the track.
Yeah.
Which is quite funny. But Tani was not so happy with the whole week as a whole, I think, and she said it was just a real struggle. And then riding the top half really good, I think, as she always does. She's really good out of the start every time. But yeah, it just wasn't in the right mindset to attack it, I think. And then she was happy to get out of here and go to next week.
Yeah, you would almost, maybe there's a lot of pressure and expectations coming to Leger.
Yeah.
You know, she lived here.
Yeah.
The family did. She knows the conditions for sure, but that can add a level of sort of pressure as well. Or like you say, if you just don't get off on the right foot on the first practice day, it can kind of
turn it around.
It can compound throughout the week. If you're just like not feeling good, which is just what happens.
She said she was warming up and Martin sent the video of his big crash, which I sent to him.
Yeah.
He sent it to the team chat, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't need to watch that now."
He sent it to the team chat, just as like a joke.
Yeah, or like, "Don't do this." Or something.
Yeah, he's he's funny character, man. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, we've chatted a bit about Loic. Like, great week for the overall for him.
Yeah.
Not on the old school podium, 5th.
Yeah.
Did you speak to Max? How fast was his Q2? I mean, he smoked
Yeah, insane.
those guys by 6 seconds or whatever it was. That was impressive to see. And he built through his run, didn't start great on the splits, but he pulled it back. So 7th is a big result.
Yeah,
sure.
really good. Yeah. He said he struggled a bit because of that Q2 being so good. He felt like everyone was watching him on finals morning practice, and he was feeling the pressure of that a little bit, and the weight of expectation probably. Like, if you do so well, then you're like, as soon as you start thinking, I can win, and then you're just not even thinking about focusing on what you're doing. You're like thinking about winning the race rather than actually doing the race. It's quite easy to do, though.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Like, you do want to do well in Q2. In order to, maybe, like you said, doing too well with that sort of time gap, you must be like, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
You know? Shit, what can I do tomorrow? You know?
No one's going to beat me.
Yeah, you're like, okay, conditions change a bit, but I still beat the rest of this Q2 field by so much. Like, where would I have been in Q1?
Yeah.
Where can I be tomorrow? Yeah,
and then you start doing these mental calculations, and that can easily go on all night. Like, if I could have one crash and I could still win. And it just really weighs on you a bit. It's like, he's still done a great result after that, but like, I could see how that would be tiring being in that position.
Yeah, that's mentally draining. Remy Teron said it was tough.
Yeah.
He said it was tough. He woke up at 5 a.m., didn't sleep.
Yeah.
He has never qualified fastest at a World Cup. It's in France.
Yeah.
We were following a bit throughout the week, and I caught up with him as soon as coursework started with the weather, and, he was in good spirits, and like we all called him for it, and then he delivered.
Yeah.
But that's a tough spot, Q1. He said it was quiet at the top.
Yeah.
It is. It's really quiet. He said, but obviously as you start getting going, the crowd was amazing.
He said the crowd was so loud that it was probably even more hard for him from how much energy the crowd had for him, because he's the last guy, he's French, and they're like, you have to deliver. So it's like, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
there's no more pressure you
could
have.
It seems so distracting though. Like I couldn't focus on just watching riders with like the deafening chainsaws.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even hear your bike feel things like if it's just so loud? I guess you get used to it, but
I think it's good, that energy, but the chainsaws, I'm not a fan if there's no race happening. Like, while the race is on and you're riding, the chainsaw is cool. When you're walking around the pits, the chainsaw is the worst thing in the world.
Oh, I'm done with them now. Yeah, me too. It's like cool for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then they almost go louder and they keep going in between riders.
Yeah.
Also, what we've do it while the rider's going, but then they just go crazy for the 4 minutes. At the end, there's like these big gaps.
Yeah.
And the minute you look at someone to say like, okay, maybe calm it down, they just come and bully you with these chainsaws.
Yeah,
I got hit by a firework, I think. I was trying to get some footage in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I just got hammered by a firework. It was felt like a paintball gun shot like for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, what? That was not great.
Yeah.
And they were throwing mud at it. It's proper
it's
like
chaos.
it's just like mini, I wouldn't say riots, but you
It's
can
on
see
the verge of a riot.
But you can see how riots happen because someone throws mud, hits someone, they throw back, and no one's going to have the logic to say, okay, cool, this could hurt someone, we're done now.
Yeah.
And like mud's flying.
I can kind of see why they want to control the crowd, but also they probably should get rid of all the barriers because people just get jammed between them and stuff.
I was a little worried because there were the barriers between the side of the track and the podium area.
Yeah.
And that barrier had like a meter between the two. I was like, that's dangerous. Because some poor
people
guys
were in there,
we're trying to like stabilize the barriers. But the riot, maybe if you're not even intentional, you just like the weight of the crowd, you could really hurt someone and crush people.
Squashed, yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
It's probably a challenge to control this crowd here.
I'm glad
they put up double barriers. It was kind of pointless.
Well, the double barriers are one thing because you could hop and then hop.
Yeah.
But I guess what we all forgot to realize is you can only run barriers for so long.
Yeah.
And people can just enter that way, which is what happened.
Yeah.
They came in from above the jumps and just started running. Yeah, it's a spectacle, man. It looked like a freaking crazy rock concert out there.
Yeah.
Like, it must have been quite... And the energy on that podium. This is one of the races you want to win.
Yeah, that's what Andy said. Going up there if you feel like a rock star once a year. And he's been up there the past 3 years in a row.
He has, eh?
Yeah.
He really comes alive here.
Yeah.
No, he does for sure. What else stood out for you as we start winding down? Can't get to everyone, but I mean, I'm looking at Joe Breeden's in 10th after a knee op. He was surprised. He was surprised to be back, but how awesome! Laurie Greenland 11th, so that's nice to see. David Palazzari. They're definitely
Phil Atwell making through to the finals from
Phil
Q1.
Atwell.
First World Cup this year.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
I did notice that. Yeah.
Unreal. And he'd probably be the underdog of the race. Just getting through to that final from Q1 is insane.
What did he finish?
Not sure where he ended up, but
why do I not? I can't find him.
But
oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But just going through from Q1 and not lining up at a World Cup all year. I mean, that's bike handling shining through there, huh?
Yeah, he's one man that can sliver through the routes.
He is for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot here. Luca in 6 is great. I mentioned Laurie, but then there's David Palazzari, there's Nathan Ponfion. I mentioned him in my fantasy, which we'll get to. Jack Piercy, I haven't looked how many finals he's been in, but there were some names that you don't always see there, right? And this is a type of track that can happen.
Yeah, Jack Piercy qualified 7th.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool to see. So, yeah, I mean, I think maybe we start wrapping up. We'll do a little. This will help us because we might quite miss something. So, let's roll through the fantasy, the Race Companion Fantasy League podcast, which I'm also hosting, and Wyn is here with me. So, race results summary. Let's go through that. So, where have we got here? We could probably do this off the top of my head, but let's go through it. Ronan Dunn beating up Martin Maes by 2.8 seconds. So it's a big one. And then, as Wyn said, Andy Kolb's been here 3 years in a row on the podium.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Massive.
Troy Brosnan in 4th, narrowly missing out on the New School podium. And Loic Bruni in 5th. Really good title week for him, Loic, I would say, for sure. Then in the women, where have we got the women here? I've got overall. I know Gracie won the race. Don't get me wrong, but let me just try find it. All right. So elite women, Gracie Hemstreet. She was only 1 second ahead of Marine Cabarrou coming back from injury, which was just absurd. Valley Hall, the win is eluding her. She did qualify fastest. I think just the track and it can happen. The errors, she was in
mistakes,
3rd. Cami Belange in 4th, and then Gloria Scarzi, that was cool, in 5th. So we have spoken about that. That's really cool. Then for you, what was one of the biggest moments throughout the week? Is it the weather, crashes, mechanicals? We haven't spoken about what is technically a controversy. From what I know, so Anna Newkirk had a rerun.
Yeah.
We talked about in Luderville because someone caught someone there and wasn't going to be a rerun.
Yeah.
So the info I have from a commissaire, to their knowledge, catching a rider is not a rerun.
Yeah.
Is what we're hearing, in the rules book. And then there was video evidence as well, and this is a commissaire decision.
Yeah.
So it's no ill feelings to Anna, Nico, Thibaut at Commencel has no ill feelings about this. I think they're a little bit surprised or bummed that there seems to be not consistency in that rule. It either needs to be rewritten and you are allowed a rerun with certain evidence.
Yeah.
Or you're not.
Yeah.
I don't know if you dug into that at all.
I've never dug into it, so I don't know if that is the true rule, but there definitely needs to be a lot clearer.
Yeah.
Because you probably should have a rerun if your run is impeded by someone else.
I would agree. Yeah. I would hope that you can if it is impeded.
Because otherwise you miss qualifying for nothing of your fault.
Yeah, it's out of your control for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just sounds like it's not a rerun.
But then
maybe they're allowing these individual cases, so I don't know what the consistent rule is. So
and she had to do a rerun after the men.
Yeah, so the conditions got better.
Yeah, it got better, but then there's been 100 riders on track.
So it could have got worse.
Yeah, it's it's probably rolls better.
Yeah.
But she had to do 3 race runs on the qualifying day.
Yeah.
And she's only just started riding again from her injury, so she turned it around well, and probably she benefited from drying track, but you can say that as well, that doing another race run's not great either.
No, you would prefer not to, for
Yeah.
sure. And it's a tough one. And she bumped out Miriam Nicole.
Yeah.
Coming back from injury.
Home favourite.
Yeah. Home favourite. Had had a decent amount of bike time, it seems.
Yeah.
Was feeling good. So, it's a bummer, man. It really is a bummer. But like I said, I'm just speaking to like people more in the know and team managers, and they are frustrated with, it seems like, the inconsistency, which you can see,
Yep.
and they're dealing with a lot more. For me, like, the big moment was the weather. Like, at not one point could you predict what was going to happen.
Yeah, we had everything this week. We had pouring rain, hot sunshine, like where you have to get all your layers off.
Yeah.
And then it'd be 5 minutes later, it's like pouring rain and cold again.
Yeah.
So we've had the whole mix, and it's been good to have a proper wet race.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah. It really is interesting. Skill definitely like rises to the top.
Yeah.
There's more to sort of dig into in our analysis. But for me, how the track rode versus like what I expected, I didn't ride it. You did. You can tell me. Like, I think I'm not surprised. Like, it probably rode more challenging because I knew there were going to be fresh bits, but I didn't think they would be so cut up and inconsistent because we knew there could be rain, but when?
Yeah.
We didn't know it would be the whole week. So for me, I think it rode even more challenging because there were all these new fresh sections.
100%. Yeah, they made the fresh sections quite tight, some of them as well. So you're turning around trees, which then just has heaps of tree roots. And they made it pretty technical, which is perfect in my mind. Like, that's what we all want to see. We want to see the best in the world being challenged.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think, like you said, it's just so good to have a race that's a bit more old school, a bit more like, it's not just perfection wins the run. Like, you could make some mistakes, and ride around them. That's for sure. Yeah, so that was cool to see that it was just even more like challenging that we could have ever hoped for sure. Let's check it out. Let's see who jumped up in the fantasy overall. Baggy has jumped into the lead at 7983. Sketchy Sketch, you're in second at 7708. And Orange Dog in third. Slonk Q, I can never pronounce, you're still in fourth. And Mark Gordon slotted into fifth. But as we move into who I picked, I had Nathan Ponfion in my team.
Yeah.
And he did really good in qualifying for sure. In the ladies, I had Gracie and Valley, so that went pretty good. So, give or take, I just need to see my other riders. Like, I've actually forgotten. Who would you put in your team? Like, who do you think's like good value? I don't do.
No,
I know you don't do it, but like, who to use like an underdog that you know that can like sneak in?
Someone messaged me, asking who to put in their team. I said put Martin Maes in.
Yeah, I think he's actually on the fantasy pretty well priced.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you spotted Martin Maes before.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I did.
He's a wet weather specialist. And he's riding into his confidence at the moment in downhill as well, so yeah.
Yeah, and he mentioned like it wasn't just going from enduro to downhill on that Racecraft. He actually mentioned that it was bike setup for him that he had to figure out, like the balance on the bike. And once he'd figured out the bike setup, like he's fine with the Racecraft and having to push harder and going to tracks that maybe some of the other guys already know. Like, he wasn't that worried about it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, guys, this has been Moving the Needle podcast, and this was a little snippet with a race companion. So make sure you enter for prizes. They do it after every round and for the overall. So you go to the racecompanion.com. Wyn Masters, always a yes man on this podcast with insane insights. And he was on track, and he's doing Wyn TV, and he's racing Worlds next week as the second or third oldest rider in the field. Because I know Porty's been bullying you because he was born in January.
But he doesn't do the World Cup, so I've got that on him.
So you're the oldest in the World Cup field?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So guys, if you enjoyed this, you know what to do. Make sure you follow Wyn's channel, Wyn TV, and then Moving the Needle podcast on YouTube. Till the next one. Peace.
Cheers.
Thanks very much to Crank Brothers. This was the Crank Brothers Race Review Series. Myself and a selected co-host will break down each and every World Cup this season. Now, Crank Brothers is synonymous with the DH racing circuit. Last year, they celebrated 14 years in a row of Elite World Champs wins in that Mallet DH pedal. They've also won the 2024 World Cup overall title on the pedal. And it's not just pedals. They've been offering to their product offering, and they have a whole host of race winners and podium contenders in their shoes. Riders like Ronan Dunn, Andy Kolb, Bernard Kerr, Ocean O'Callaghan, Lucas Shaw, Cammy Belange, and Troy Brosnan, plus Benoit Coulange, just to name a few. Now, in other exciting news, Commensal Muckhoff will be running the Crank Brothers wheels this season. Now, if you know me, I am personally blown away by the shoe and pedal combo. I love them. I picked the Boa Mallet shoe at the moment. It's easy the best shoe I have ridden.